Keeping in line with the previous video that I just made, where I'm talking about my deconstruction journey and my path to spiritual awakening, I want to say one of the points that I wanted to expound on a little bit more was the actual crux of the story, which is that if you are someone who is a newly awakened spiritualist and you're on your journey and you run into a tower moment and then you find yourself back in church, back in religion, you are only going to be able to stay in church, in religion, in that indoctrination to the degree that you have awakened. Meaning, the longer you had been waking up, the more intensely you have been doing the work to awaken yourself, that is to the degree that you'll be able to stay in church. So for me, because I had actually been on my journey from 2003 to 2010, I had had all of those years of awakening, even though a lot of those years were spent like unconsciously aware that I was awakening and that I was deconstructing. I had no idea that's what I was doing. I now know that I was being led by my ancestors through this path. I now know that this is a part of my spiritual guidance that comes to me through my ancestral lineage. Because as a self-initiate, everything that you experience on your path, you will be able to finally go back and connect them like, oh, now I see they were doing this all along, right? Because you don't have an elder or anyone else teaching you about, oh, you know what? If you experience this thing, then you can attribute it to that thing. You're really just organically learning it as you walk the path. So anyways, for me, because I had already been on my journey for, 7 years, when the tower moment hit me and I ran back to church, I could not stay too long because immediately I was clocking it. I was like, none of this is true. This is deceit. This is some nasty work. These people sleep. Oh my God, do they not see this? Do they not see it? Do you not see your pastor who just announced to y'all that he having a baby with a member in the church? And oh, by the way, he's not going to marry this girl. And then a month later, announced to y'all, he's marrying another girl in the church. Y'all don't see this? These people playing in your face. These people don't even believe. These people are not Christ conscienced. This is an organization. So I have become so spiritually aware that I could not, it was almost putrid. Not gonna even hold you. It was almost putrid to be in a church because it was disgusting to see what they had turned the house of the Lord into. And I just couldn't stay. I couldn't stay. So I left. But if I had just been, on my journey for maybe a month, or year, I probably wouldn't have seen all of that because the scales would not have fallen from my eyes to the magnitude of which the scales had fallen from my eyes, right? If I was really new in my deconstruction and really new in my spiritual path, I probably would have went back and stayed. But I couldn't because I had seen behind the veil. I had seen the tricks. I saw something, y'all. Because see, I used to volunteer in churches. Like, how good Christian folks, they work in the ministries, well, that's, you're volunteering. So you literally, ain't no way you can be awakened. Ain't no way you can be awakened and working in a church? No. Because once you awaken, ain't no way. You can't do it. You just can't. Anyway, so I want to say to you that if you are newly awakened and you run into a tower moment and you go back to church, you can only sit in church for so long, and it's going to be dependent upon how much deconstructing you've done, how much awakening you've done, how much healing you've done. Because that's where this all comes to. How much shadow work have you done? Because listen, you can only awaken and you can only deconstruct up to the point that you've done your healing work, up to the point that you've done your shadow work. The more you heal yourself, the more you love yourself, truly love yourself, the more you dig into your shadows, the more awakened you become. Baby, if somebody ain't did no healing work, if they ain't been doing no shadow work, you know, if they not doing that, if they not doing no self-love work, them people are not awakened. No, they're not. They're lying to you. Those are the people who are deceiving you to get some money from you. They ain't no better than religion, right? You can only awaken to the level that you heal, to the level that you love yourself, to the level that you go into your own shadows and meet them and get to know them and understand who they are. And get this, not to go kill the shadows, not to go slay the shadows, to slay the demons. No, to go and learn who they are and transmute them and integrate them. You need them. You're not supposed to be going to kill them. But if they are causing chaos in your life, it's because you haven't integrated them. You have not met them. So whatever shadows are knocking at your door, those are the spaces and aspects and parts of you that you have to go and explore and meet and love and integrate. So that is what it means to walk a spiritual path. You ain't never gonna do that in nobody's religion. Nobody's religion. Not an Abrahamic religion, certainly not. You ain't gonna do that in church. Because they would much rather you turn over your power and live in fear, right? Find a God outside of yourself that you have to depend on and live in the fear of the enemy, right? Like it's tricks. It's mental tricks. And if that's where you want to, vibrate and live, then sorry for you. But that's a little bit about my journey. I wanted to kind of pick that last part back up. I really felt like it deserved a little expounding upon. And I hope that if you are on your journey, if you come across this, I hope this helps you to know what you could potentially anticipate when you hit a tower and you run back to religion. Maybe you can use this, as a nugget of wisdom, so that you go into that tower moment with conscious awareness and not blindly. And then you can go in and transmute whatever you need to transmute and get out of there a lot faster. Or encourage you to start doing your work more now. Encourage you to start healing yourself a little bit more now. Loving yourself a little bit more now. Meeting and integrating your shadows a little bit more now. You do that, you might not even have that tower.